somebody, is the verse on the board? This is when the temple commander is not here. Mantrini, you see what happens. No, nothing. I mean, no, that's not. You still temple commander in Radhadesh? Yeah, okay. So this is what's happened when you're not there. Nobody writes anything. Our temple commander is on holiday at the moment. Yeah, it's okay. We just read it. It's from the Caitanya-caritāmṛta and a tree. I think we just read it and it's fine. Because it will take too long now. Yeah. Huh? No, I'm not a kirtan man. You can make kirtan and I can write. Please, Srimanshri, I think it's not. Which verse is it, Prabhu? Huh? Yes, I think 20 or 21. Wait a second. Give me a moment. Therefore, we should establish the screen here, then we can just display it. It's 21, 56 to 58. Yeah. Huh? Madhya 21, 56, 58. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, we're reading from Caitanya-caritāmṛta. I think we all okay to speak English? English is okay? Okay. Huh? Okay. Okay, and I swapped actually places with Mataji Damodar Priya because on Tuesday when I was due for class I could not give because there was some scars, so I swapped with her. Therefore I'm here. And she confused the verses in the Bhagavatam, looking at some other verses, and now I also looked on some other verses. So that's called karma. I cannot go around it, I had to. Yeah, so okay. We still meeting. Whom do we meet here? Who remembers? Who in the 21st chapter of Madhya-līlā? 2 persons are speaking. Mahaprabhu? Huh? With Sanatana Goswami. Yes. Okay. So 56. Tripat viputer damtvat. Tripat viputer damatvat. Tripat pudam hi tat padam. Tripat Putam Hitat Padam Vibhutya Mayiki Sarva Vibhutya Mayiki Sarva Prokta Padatmikayata Prokta Padatmikayata. Nowadays, everybody anyway has some devices to display verses. Okay, somebody want to chant this verse? Tripat vibhutir dhamatvat Tripat putam hitat padam Vibhutir mayiki sarva Prokta padatmikayata. Tripat vibhutir, of the three-fourths of the energy. Dhammatvat, because of being the abode. Tripat putam, consisting of three-fourths of the energy. He, certainly. Tat padam, that abode. Vibhuti, the energy or potency. Mayiki, material. Sarva, all. Prokta, said. Pada atmika, only 1/4. Yata, therefore. Translation, by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Because it consists of 3/4 of the Lord's energy, the spiritual world is called Tripat Bhuta. Being a manifestation of 1/4 of the Lord's energy, the material world is called Ekabhata. Okay, and there's just a sentence of purport by His Divine Grace. This verse is found in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Okay, so 57. Tripata Vibhuti Krishna Vyakya Agochara Ekapata Vibhutira Sunaha Vishtara. Okay, and a read translation. The 3/4 part of Lord Krishna's energy is beyond our speaking power. Let us therefore hear elaborately about the remaining 1/4 of his energy. Ananda Pramanandera Yata Pramaruta Gana Chilarokapala Shabde Tahara Ganana. Actually, it is very difficult to ascertain the numbers of universes. Every universe has its separate Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, who are known as permanent governors. Therefore, there is also no counting them. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are called Chira Lokapala, permanent governors. This means that they govern the affairs of the universe from the beginning of the creation to the end. In the next creation, the same living entities may not be present. But because Brahma and Shiva are existing from the beginning to the end, they are called Chira Lokapala, permanent governors. Lokapala means predominating deities. There are 8 predominating deities of the prominent heavenly planets, and they are Indra, Agni, Yama, Varuna, Nitri, Vayu, Kuvera, and Shiva. Om Aknanati Mandasya Knanan Chanashalakya Chakshu Midam Yena Tasmai Sigrave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Stabhram Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupakara Mayam Dadati Svaparantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna. We are here in a very scientific section of the Caitanya-caritāmṛta, because Sanatana Goswami was very highly intelligent. He could perceive such knowledge from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu basically summarized the teachings what are given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now it's very scientific, and we could actually use this very nicely, and that was actually Srila Prabhupada's desire, that we use this scientific knowledge to present this knowledge to the so-called intelligent class of society, the philosophers and the scientists. And therefore, one reason why we're building this Temple of the Vedic Planetarium in Mayapur, to give a practical illustration how these things all work together and how they are combined together and have a relation to each other. And Srila Prabhupada hoped that this gives a kind of appreciation for the Vedic philosophy or philosophy and teachings presented in these books, basically what he translated, the Srimad Bhagavatam, and also here the Caitanya-caritāmṛta. But somehow other scientists, they not really want to touch this topic. They don't take this in consideration. Why? Because most of them, they're atheists. And they want basically that they use all their teachings to prove that there is no God. And there's no creation. There cannot be a higher creator. And it's like there is, when you have, let's say you have a crime, and you're looking for who is the murderer, and somebody comes and says, well, I have some hint, I have something, something where you can take in consideration to the police. Please look at this. But the police, no, this, we don't like your look. We don't like how you dress. We don't like that you kind of, your religious or your political engagement. We don't like this. Therefore, we don't take your hints in consideration. And this is what they're doing, because somebody who really searching for the truth, we not even say, accept this as the truth, but take it in consideration. Make an attempt to understand it, make an attempt to read it, and then from this draw your conclusions. Okay, you still can do that, but take it at least in consideration. Why not? We have a hint, we have something where you can explore on it, about looking for the truth. But it's not really happening. And what we can say, it's then on the other hand, it's a test for us as well, because when the so-called normal world don't take it as truth and has doubts in it, it comes to us that we also think maybe they are right. Maybe they are right, and we are not right. Right? But this is something what is so essential actually, and the more we take this culture in our culture, we kind of replace Vedic thinking with our thinking what most of us are trained in, then it makes sense. For example, these prominent deities who are mentioned here in the end, they named Indra, Agni, Yama, Varuna, Nitri, Vayu, Kuvera, and Shiva. They actually placed around our temple in the Palipitams. All these Palipitams, they present one of these deities. This is the Palipitams is when you go around the temple, you will see in all four corners and in all 4 middle corners. You will see these deities. So there are 8, right? And they are these deities, and they are kind of reciting here. Once a month they be worshipped, or for festival days. They're reciting here and giving this dharm protection, this temple protection, and on the same time they are installed, because a temple is kind of a universe in itself. It's Vaikuntha Loka, right? And this is not just some hocus pocus what we do, or kind of people think, yeah, it's a little bit sentimental. No, they are really there. But if you don't take it in consideration, you will just not see them. But if you're aware of them and sort of honor them, at least when you go by, recognize their personalities. So don't lean your bicycles on them. I saw this, or wash your shoes and put them for drying on top. No, there are divine personalities there, right? And the more we take this in consideration, the more they will appear also in our consciousness, and they will appear also in our community life. So that's something what we have to train ourselves to be not doubtful, but to take these things, take it in, at least take it in consideration and work with that. Maybe there are personalities outside. We are trained in kind of, there's nothing beside this what we can see. Right? When you, as a kid, when you said to somebody, I believe in ghosts, or you took, maybe there are ghosts outside, everybody was like, you foolish. Right? When I went to Christian church, my friends, they took me to the church, and so I started to kind of I always believed in some kind of higher power, like God. I always believed. When I was mowing the grass, my parents engaged me in mowing the grass. I always thought of cutting the hair of God. It must be God. And of course, this was all some sort of speculation, till I read the second canto later on. But when, as a kid, when they took me to kind of a evangelic church, then my faith got some sort of shape. But the other friends, what I had from the other side, for them I was kind of not very advanced. That is something to believe in God, especially in communistic countries where I come from. This was something what you don't do. You don't believe in God because science can explain everything. We shoot Yuri Gagarin in the cosmos, and he came back and said, nobody was there. God doesn't exist. And that was the proof, because Yuri didn't see, right? And Yuri is the ultimate proof. So, yeah, we have to work on our faith. And because when our faith becomes more prominent in our life, then we can present this faith also to outside. We are not people who are, who believe things just because they said it to us. Prabhupada always calls it's spiritual science. So we can test it. It can be proven. How it can be proven? By applying it. And this is what we have to do. And therefore, it's so important that we have the association of our devotees, because in that association, we have at least people who try to work on the same side, who may struggle with the same doubts, but who are also having the same, getting same kind of evidence that this knowledge, what we have here, is maybe not sentimental, but that's the real truth. So Mahaprabhu uses this opportunity to instruct Sanatana Goswami in various matters of devotional practice, and this to explain to him how the universe is put together is one part of it. To exactly give us answers what we may be counteracted in nowadays science. When Sanatana Goswami received this knowledge, he didn't go and became a scientist himself and try to prove that. He basically took this knowledge and continued to the life of a sadhu. Because the life of a sadhu is basically this what brings it all together, or what is the essence of all the knowledge. When we get knowledge and we try to use this knowledge to impress certain kinds of people, that's not what is really helps us in our practice. Of course, we have different devotees who work in the scientific field, and they try to establish this knowledge, but still they keep the life of a sadhu. They still are devotees and not merging with the so-called scientific world. They still are based in the spiritual world. So that's very important that Sanatana Goswami didn't become a scientist after he received all this knowledge. And so same for us. If we get caught up in all these affairs of scientific proof and behavior, or if we caught up in political affairs, nowadays this is very common, where people are getting involved or even having big opinions about political matters, then our consciousness get polluted. When we had Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was asked by different devotees even to see the King Prataparudra, who was the governor king in Puri at this time. And Mahaprabhu always refused to see him, because his argument was, I'm a sannyasi, whatever I have association with, this will influence my mind. And of course, we can say Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but with this, he gave an example, because that's what common people do, normal people follow. And therefore, one should behave in a way that we give some kind of example. We have Jai Jai Shishi Palat Lakshmi Singhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. We have, for example, the Bhagavad Gita verse of the day is 320. Kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of education, of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. So this is our main family business, is to cultivate this knowledge and distribute this knowledge, but the knowledge of the spirit and not the knowledge of the matter. And we are supposed to present this knowledge, but not get too much involved in this knowledge. So this is something what I think is what we can see out of this whole section of the Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Now, when the creation, as it describes here, is taking place, of course, all this Chira Lokapala, the permanent governors, they come into existence. So on the creation of the universe, one personality is established as Brahma, one personality is established as Shiva. But Shiva, in that sense, is always connected with Lord Vishnu, who is the one who basically brings this all in existence. So Lord Brahma and Shiva, they are kind of posts. Especially Lord Brahma, it's said that each one of us, when we enter in matter, we first take the position of Lord Brahma. Meaning in the beginning we are kind of pure, and then to us is given some kind of universe where we can govern in, what we can overrule, what we can rule, what we can look on, and where we basically free to act or put a universe together under the instructions of Lord Vishnu. And each and every Brahma, he comes in this existence and is sort of detached. He works under the guidance of Lord Vishnu. But then when he comes in contact with his creation, he very much starts to be attached to his creation. And this is where the trouble starts then. Because he identifies with his creation. Because it's his creation. And with the time, he gets so attached that he thinks, I'm the creator of this generation. There's this one incident where Brahma, he went to Vaikuntha. I want to have an audience with Lord Vishnu. And the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, they Chai and Vichai, they saw him and said, okay, who are you? He said, I'm Brahma, I want to have an audience with Lord Vishnu. Okay, we ask Vishnu and ask if he has time. And Brahma, why not? I'm Brahma. After all, I'm Brahma. I have 4 heads. So why he should not have time for me? I'm very important. I'm very important personality. So and then the gatekeepers, they came to Lord Vishnu and said, there is some person outside the door. He says he's Brahma. And we said, oh, Brahma? Ask him which Brahma is he? So they going back to the door, going to Brahma and said, Vishnu is asking, which Brahma you are? He said, what do you mean, which Brahma I am? I am the Brahma. I'm the father of the 4 Kumaras. What question is this? And then they're going back to Vishnu and said, yeah, the 4-headed Kumaras outside, the father of the 4 Kumaras. So Vishnu said, okay, so bring him in. And then when Brahma comes in, of course, he sees Vishnu sitting on his throne. He makes his obeisances, but quickly gets up and stands in front of Lord Vishnu and is a little bit agitated. And Vishnu said, so, okay, how's everything? Why you come here? Why you want to have my audience? And Brahma said, yeah, it's something, but I have a doubt. Why are you asking me which kind of Brahma I am? Am I not the creator of this universe? Vishnu says, yes, sure, you're the creator of one particular universe. In fact, you're the creator of the smallest universe, because you only have 4 heads. I said, are there other Brahmas there? And then Vishnu calls for all the Brahmas and all the Shivas, and they all come in front of him. And Brahma, the 4-headed Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma, he sees them, and he sees Brahmas with 10 heads, with 100 heads, with 1,000 heads, and with 1 trillion heads. And he thinks, who are all these people? And they all come in front of Lord Vishnu. And every Brahma thinks he stands alone in front of Lord Vishnu. And then they're offering their obeisances. And when they touch down with the millions of heads to the ground, and the crowns, they're touching the ground, it makes a sound like offering prayers to Lord Vishnu. And they're all praising Lord Vishnu. And they're all praising him, saying, we are very fortunate that we have your darshan, that you called us here. Thank you very much. And then Vishnu says, I just wanted to see you all. I want to ask you if everything is okay. Do you have any troubles with the demon class in your universes? And they say, no, by your protection, we are all blessed and everything is in the right order. And then Vishnu says, okay, thank you very much. Now you may all go. And they're all very blissfully leaving, except the Chaturmukha Brahma. He still stands there and says, wow, that's all Brahmas, and I'm one of them, but I'm the smallest one. I feel like a rabbit in the association of elephants. Right? So and then in that moment he could understand that his creation, actually, it's the smallest. It's the very smallest creation. But because he is so attached to this creation, he thinks it's the biggest. Because why? It's my creation. And this is actually the same mentality we still keep. We still have this Brahma mentality with which we enter in matter. That we say in the beginning, oh, it's all matter, it's all mud, it's all dirty. But with the time we think, oh, it's not so bad. Right? Like Indra. Indra was cursed to come in the material world. And he adopted, that's Indra, that's the king of heaven. He adopted the family of pigs. And he became a pig. And he was very happy in his pig life. He was rolling in his own stool and the stool of his children. And he was very attached to his little piggy children. Pigs can be cute, or who thinks pigs are cute? Welcome. So Indra thought, they are really cute little piggies. Oh, look at them, how they nicely go around, how they speak in their little piggy language. I have to protect them. Right? And then Brahma comes back and says, okay, Indra, I think you learned your lesson. Now come on, back up. You have to go back to your throne. So what do you mean? No, you're the king of the heavens, of the whole universe. You're the king. You're the topmost ruler. You achieved this post. To achieve the post as Indra, it's not so easy. You have to do, I don't know how many Ashvamedha Yagyas. 100 Ashvamedha Yagyas. And who is Indra is actually very, very attached. And if somebody starts to do one Ashvamedha Yagya, Indra gets already kind of, nowadays nobody can do this anyway, but Indra immediately becomes a little bit bewildered. And then there was this one incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Who was it? Prithu. Prithu, he started to do Ashvamedha Yagyas. And not only one, he did in the end 99? 99 he did. And then, Indra became very, very disturbed because he thought somebody will occupy my throne. Now, played it out as a whole different story then. But, so Indra is actually very attached to his throne. He's the king of kings. He is, you did it. When you become Indra, you are there. But here, Indra was not interested to come back to his throne because he said, no, I'm here in my pig family. I have the throne of the biggest pig in the whole community of pigs. And sometimes you see male pigs, they call it in German Eber. Eber. How you call them? Some English word? No, I don't know. A male pig. And they can become huge. They can become huge monsters of pigs, right? And he thought, I'm the man. And in this community, I am the big apple. No, everything is under my control. Why I should go to some other throne, to some other kingdom? So in the end, Indra had to be forced out of his big body to be reinstalled as the king of the heavens. So we have this mentality, and we are very attached to our mentality. Even this mentality we don't want to give away, because we think that's all what there is, and we are trying to control our little universes, our little families, our little bodies. Whatever it is, it's ours, and nobody can take it away. But this is the cause of all fear. That's the cause of all desires and all the cause of all fears. These desires be not to be fulfilled. So we had just this whole seminar about desires by Sarvasati Prabhu. And I don't know, what is your conclusion about your desires? Is it desirable to have desires? Huh?
Yes.
Why?
Because God has desires also.
He is the supreme desire, yes. So, but do we not learn we should not envy God? So should we not have desires then?
If you have desires, you develop yourself.
To develop yourself, yeah, but I could, develop myself as a big scientist. Especially now I get all this knowledge here.
Yeah, but if you desire, if you fulfill your desire, your next desire will come. You're enlightened. Go in the path to enlightenment. Desire after desire.
So desires are the motor of the universe. Could say like this, like an engine.
I don't say it comes to me now. It's nothing. When you have a desire, you have the urge to reach it, and when you have reached the desire, there's a new thing. So you have a new desire. So in this way,
No, but if you desire the newest, I don't know, Tesla car. The new Tesla car. Tesla, this electric car.
These are material desires.
Aha.
Yeah, but there's also spiritual desires.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah.
So we come under spiritual desires.
Yes.
But how you define a spiritual desire? How you know it's a spiritual desire? I mean, getting first initiation or second initiation.
It's not material.
No, but how you define it? That's not material.
You cannot touch it.
You can what?
You cannot touch it.
You cannot touch it. So, but my developing my intelligence, I can also not touch it.
Yeah, this is also, it can also be part of desires. It depends on your consciousness. If you have material consciousness, you have soul consciousness or spiritual consciousness.
Somebody has some. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I just want to take some more opinions in. Somebody has some other, how we can define a spiritual desire. Srimanjari?
Comes to mind like the intention. What's the intention behind the desire? Like, is it to please Krishna, or is it?
Uh-huh. So, if we desire, our desire should be in line with the Guru, who is representative of Krishna, who is a servant of Krishna. Yeah, because this is basically where we could define what is a spiritual and what is material desire. Because it may that we come in the association of devotees and we have still some desires, like, we want to be part of it. So we also would like to have a fancy name. Das or Dasi. Sounds quite wow, he's on it. and one can do everything for it. Chant, go Mangalati and do everything, and it's good because this process keeps us cleansing. But still the motivation is maybe not directly spiritual, because I just want to be part of it. I want to be recognized. So it's not completely spiritual, but at least it hooks us. It brings us on a spiritual path. Right? Yeah. And then these desires get purified, because when we keep with this example of getting initiation, getting a new name, what is the main part what we get in this association or in this name? Das or Dasi, right? And this means already servant. And this servant means, so there must be servant of what? Of somebody's desires. Now still sometimes we see that we serve our desires. Even as devotees, even long time in the movement, even long time practicing, we have desires. Right? And these desires, they sometimes look a little bit selfish from the outside world. Why Swamiji needs the latest MacBook? Common thing, They're all using computers. Why he cannot use some kind of, whatever? We had this example of Bhaktibhushan Swami, for example. He said when he travels many times in South America, in very poor countries, he said he cannot come with the latest MacBook or whatever, because people, they're so poor that would just not fit. But we could say, why this has happened. So what is the key? What we have to do with our desires? Hendrik.
To categorize them in what fits devotional service and what doesn't, and try to align them somehow to devotional service.
To align them with devotional service. So we have to connect them with the ability to somehow or other serve Krishna. Right? So that's basically the part of purification of our desires. And when we come to the point that we had in the whole section of the Bhagavatam where we in, is about the story, the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. When we come to the point that we say, it's not actually whatever I desired, it's not worth it. It's not basically, it doesn't make me happy. Because material desires, what happens with material desires? I fulfill one desire. Yeah, then the next MacBook comes out, right? You're already behind already. You have whatever, the newest car, the newest electro car. Now you think, now I'm on the top, for the next years I'm free. I just can enjoy. I have the latest Tesla, nothing can happen to me now. Immediately some new Tesla comes out with a longer battery power. You feel you're driving around, everybody looks at you and say, oh, that's the old Tesla. So you're constantly driven by new desires. And this is the motto of the material world. It has to be there. Desires are essential. You have to understand this. We cannot desire having no desires. Desires are essential. And when they are applied in the material world, this is what keeps the world going. The desire of a man having a woman is basically keep on going. Keep on, I say progeny going, right? So, and these desires are there. And since we're part of matter, we cannot get easily out of matter. But then to say, okay, I get a good lady who's a Vaishnavi, And it's said in Chaitanya Bhagavatam, it's said when all the devotees, they went to Jagannath Puri from Navadvip, like Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, and all the other stalwart devotees, they call stalwart devotees. And they took, in 1 year, they took their wives. And then Vrindavan Das Thakur says that all the wives of these great personalities, like Sita Thakurani was the wife of Advaita Acharya, the wife of Srivas Thakur was, her name? Malini, yeah. Said all the wives of this great devotees, they were non-different from Lakshmi Devi. Hare Krishna. There comes the result of my desires. Hare Krishna Charu, welcome. Yeah, so this is the point then when we say, okay, let's create a family. There comes the next result of my desires. Come in, Murari. So when we can align our desires and live our, there comes my desire. there comes when we align our desires, then we can connect them easily to Krishna. And then these desires are completely spiritual. And for this we have to cultivate. We have to cultivate Krishna-desired families. We have to develop families where we can please Krishna. When we do weddings, we say, entering Grihastha life, meaning to be an ornament to the Vaishnava community. Be ornaments. This means we have to live our life in a way that we are ornaments of the movement of Srila Prabhupada. When we are brahmacharis, we have to live our brahmachari life as ornaments for Srila Prabhupada's family. Like Srila Prabhupada says in the Krishna book, when all these young boys come, shaved clean, decorated with tilak, and dressed in orange robes, they look like Vaikuntha men. Right? So it's not some external thing. It means also some internal thing, some internal meditation. There's a meditation in the brahmachari ashram. There's a meditation in the grihastha ashram. And there will be, slowly starting meditation in the vanaprastha ashram. Of course, there is a meditation and a lifestyle in the sannyas ashram. So by fulfilling these ashrams, then it's not only because sometimes we say, "Whoa, that's all Vanashram Dham, we're not interested in." But yes, we're not interested as the goal of our life, but we're interested in fulfilling these ashrams to be an ornament for our founder Acharya, for our whole society of devotees. So we can't, we have to be aware of that our desires, our where we entering, how we engage our desires. Even if we are brahmacharis, it means we have a desire to not marry, to dedicate our life in the mission, in complete dedication of the mission. It's a very spiritual desire, but it's a desire, right? And if we entering a grihastha ashram, we should have the desire to be to live a happy grihastha life. One time there were devotees from Poland coming here, and one devotee who had unfortunate marriage life, he didn't want to come again because he said here too many happy grihasthas. That's strange. Because this is what we actually have to show. Who want to join a movement where everybody is miserable? And this is sometimes what we put in the forefront, where we say, this world, and we're so judgmental about the world, and this and that, and the world is Maya. No, it's our consciousness what is Maya. The world is not Maya. The world is representation of whom? Yeah, but in another sense? Who's always with Krishna? Who's meditating? Radharani, yeah. It's Radharani. The world is there to please Krishna. It's Radharani's meditation. And she manifests as Durga Devi. Right? And therefore it's called Durga Dham. But Durga is not bad. It's our consciousness, our Ravana consciousness, that we think, let's take Radharani, engage her in our service. See? So this is, and then we entering in this consciousness because we see how bewildering it is for us. And therefore we kind of try to pluck her out. We try to pluck out the material energy. It's not there. Send all the women to Australia, or? Was Australia? Somebody from Australia? No. There was one point in ISKCON where I think it was after Prabhupada. No, it was when Prabhupada. Yeah, they asked Prabhupada to bring all the women to Australia. Can you imagine if that would become true? Like all the women would be in Australia and all the men would be in Europe and America, and then they would always look, what they're doing there, whatever, But Prabhupada is, come on, that's nonsense. It's not the material energy what is bad. It's our consciousness. Never think women are bad. Women are super. I love my wife because she is a servant of Krishna. But if I think, I love her because I want to enjoy her, then I would prostitute her. Sorry for this harsh word. But this is what we're doing. We try to prostitute Radharani by our mentality to enjoy her. And I'm not meaning only souls in male bodies. Sorry. We all have this tendency to think, okay, this belongs to me because it's my creation. It's me. I'm the, how I saying here, a permanent governor of my creation. And therefore I put everything in place that it serves my purpose. Now, we're living in this holy dham, in this community, or even some living in Radhadesh, what is non-different from the spiritual world as well, or of Madhura. It's an instruction to Sanatana Goswami to live in Madhura or in a holy place like a temple. Now we're living here, living in a Vaishnava community, we should clean this place. We should keep it clean. And I'm not speaking only about the temple environment. Of course, we should keep this as well clean, but we should keep clean our association, our Sangha, what is kind of the Ethel version of the temple. You have the temple, the building, and the marble, and even the deity. Even the deity, it's there. But it all comes to life. Even the deity comes only to life if the devotee is worshipping this deity. Even if it's installed deity and the devotees would, out of some reason, they would go away, Krishna would also go away. It won't only remain a statue. Right? But because of the devotees, everything is happening. Krishna is depending on his devotees. God is depending on his devotees. Therefore, they are so valuable to him. Because without devotees, nobody would talk about Krishna. God would not exist if the devotees would not exist. Of course, he would exist, of course, but if there would be no devotees who speak about him, God would practically not exist in matter. So devotees, therefore, so precious. So precious. And communities of devotees, they're so amazing, because a functioning devotee community is so attractive that it can attract the whole world. And that's our task. So we should, as community itself, stick together, work together, desire together things for Krishna. And then in the bigger sense, bigger communities like Simhachalam and Radhadesh, we should stick together, right? We should desire together. We should kind of support each other. Okay, when you make your Kirtan Mela, that we don't have a festival in this time, for example, it could be something like that. Don't stay in each other's way. Let's serve each other. Well, we have good equipment. You need something for your Kirtan Mela or something. We just bought it. This is what the farmer's doing. It's not that every farmer buys a Jauchefass. Jauchefass. This is kind of what they put in the bag where they spray the sewage on the field. Yeah, it's just one example. Or a potato harvest machine. One buys one, and then the others, they come and they're landing this. They say, okay, I get your potato harvest machine. You get next time my Jauchefass or something like that. So, we should cooperate. We should work together for the pleasure of Prabhupada and for the pleasure of all the devotees and for the attraction of the whole world. Because if they can see they are just cool, happy people, they are working, they know how to work together. They don't work against each other, because this is what the material world, where everybody's competing, where everybody tries to enjoy Radharani, what they're doing is they're competing. Once I was still brahmachari, I drove from Berlin to Leipzig, actually to Chemnitz in this day. And I drove with Mitfahrzentrale. Is this still there? Called now BlaBlaCar or something like that. Huh? Mitfahrgelegenheit. I don't know. There was this website. You could go in. You put your, it was actually very easy. But even on this particular day, the person overloaded his car and he didn't take me. So I was standing there, and it was a Russian guy, and he loaded his car with 5 ladies, and they were all laughing about me because I was standing there in orange, like dribbling nose. So I had to arrange for a new Mitfahrgelegenheit, and luckily I found somebody who drove in the afternoon from Berlin to Chemnitz. I had to meet, she was a lady, I had to meet her on a spot in a cafe in Friedrichstraße, somewhere there, the Bahnhof Friedrichstraße. So I went there, and I was the first, and she was a young, can say attractive lady with a very short skirt. And of course I'm brahmachari, I kept my distance and only spoke what was necessary. But she was very friendly and interested, but still I was kind of reserved, right? And then there were 3 other guys what she loaded. So I was the first one who was in the car, and then she picked up all the 3 other guys, men. And immediately they came in. They start to you really could see how they all fluffed themselves up, to get the attention of this lady. And the whole tribe, they were kind of, how to say in English, they were kind of advertising around her. Although it was all in the car, everybody tried to, it went even that far that she got a phone call from her partner. And this partner said, I'm already at home and I parked my car over there somewhere. I said, no, can you leave that? I can park my car there because otherwise it's get too difficult. But I said, no, I parked it already. And, it was kind of a discussion, whatever. And then she started to complain in the car about, wow, he's always so lazy, he's always like that. And then they really started, how he can be like that? He must be, And I thought, my goodness, they try really to talk this guy out of her. And in the same time, pushing themselves over each other. And this is how we're competing with the material world. We're just competing over something what doesn't belong to us. And then in the end, we try to talk out of the matter. We try to talk God out of matter. Like Ravana. Nah, come. This Rāmānanda, who is he anyway? I am the big guy. I have everything. Everything is under my control. Right? So, but in a society where we don't compete because we know everything belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna anyway. So we should cooperate. This is what is needed. And this makes it very attractive. This is our main preaching. And then when we conquer the hearts of the people, we easily can conquer the mind with our philosophy. But we can bring the best philosophy. If we can put it down to earth and practice, nobody is interested. Because they will just say, maybe it sounds good, but it doesn't work. Show me how it works. So that's our challenge. So we should build functioning Vaishnava communities in a microcosmos, as a family, as an individual. Each brahmachari should be completely happy serving in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Distributing books should be a raying example when he goes out in the street. Everybody should see, wow, that's a happy person. How is he happy? Right? And then when the brahmachari, not all, but some get married, they should be happy. Not that, there comes my attachment or something like that. No, there comes my choice. And I'm still standing to this choice. I'm still happy about this choice what I once made. Right? And that's what it is. I'm happy there. And when out of circumstances, choices changing or whatever, like time's passing on and maybe one has to go earlier or whatever, then one makes the next choice. And even then, one should be happy. We don't need sannyasis who the whole time are miserable because of the material world and nobody is doing what they're saying and, nobody cares about them or whatever, We want an inspirationist. That's the duty of the spiritual master. And Prabhupada told us all to be spiritual masters. We should enthuse each other. This is what we chant when we chant Gayatri. We pray for enthusiasm. Please enthuse us. So, big words. I don't know if I can be of any practical value or example. I think I have many things to learn out of my own words, but they're actually not my words. They are somehow other the words who came by the inspiration of the Holy Scriptures and the Guru Parampara, preaching to myself, asking you for blessings that somehow or other one day I can be a valuable gem amongst all of you valuable gems in your association. So, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. You have any advices how I can reach my goal to be of value for you? Ananda, you must say something. Yeah.
No, I'd like to lecture. Yes. Last point was also good about enthusiasm and correspondence to the Gayatri Mantra, where the sun is enlightening the universe and many nice points which I can reflect on, share with the spirit.
It's a little bit rocky in the beginning because the verse is so technically and you don't know from which side to kind of enter, especially if you're not oneself not such a technical person. Thank you. Other question? Nothing. Then, normally announce hot khichdi now, but not today. There are maybe hot potatoes because it's Ekadasi Yarivo. So welcome. You travel already to Radhadesh today?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
No, I go now to Sabut in Frankfurt.
To Sabuj?
Sadbuch.
Really? Okay.
He's there, and then tomorrow we go.
Sabuching there. Okay, so obeisances and all the best. Hare Krishna. Please bless us that we can develop in our community. By your blessings. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai. Can say that. Ananda Kund Vaishnava ki jai. Ich hatte sowieso einen falschen Pferd. Ich meine,
Ich will jetzt eigentlich aber dann diskutieren. Kennst du diese App? Freeform.
was ist das?
Deine Lecture notiert.
Deine Lecture?
Themen, was du gemacht hast, habe nicht alles gekommen. Und dann kommt gesprochen, was dann mit dir Bildschirm, was du so welches Thema gesprochen hast, welche so materielle Situation gesprochen und Naturbeweis, Kulturtech und Community und Konflikte.
Heute duschen und du.
Ja, das ist nice.
Und was machst du jetzt damit? Also, oder was kannst du mit der App machen? Du wirst es ja bestimmt nicht hier, weil du.
Ganz neu, also ich weiß nicht, ich arbeite nicht so viel damit, aber das sind Notizen.
Das ist praktisch wie ein Board, wo du für Bücher schreibst. Das ist ein Scrivener, das ist so wie so ein Board, wo du Gedanken pinnen kannst so, und dann die zusammenziehen.
Freeform, das ist eigentlich eine
Kann man damit malen, ne? Okay, ciao.
Mit dem iPad macht es wahrscheinlich mehr Sinn, ne?
Ja.
Ich mache jetzt auch noch